Hey, everybody. Again, welcome to Synoria's Best Kept Secret. Today I have with me Mrs. Janelle Quinn. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm so glad to have you. I feel like, this is going to be great conversation. I can't wait to
Mhm.
dive in and get all this information. Tell me a little bit about what it is that you do. I know you started a new project, 3-5 Wealth. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. In addition to being the founder of 3-5 Wealth, which is an online community of traders, investors, and individuals who are seeking financial freedom, something that I found last September when I was 45. And to me, financial freedom is a point in your career, in your life, where you don't have to rely on a job
Mm.
to meet your needs. And so for me, last September, when I was 45 years old, I was able to step away from corporate America.
Wow.
What was
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. You know what's interesting when I stepped away, I have been working since I've been 14.
Mm.
My twin sister and I, my mom had us volunteer at the local library. And then when we turned 16, we started working. And then when we turned 18, we joined the Air Force.
Okay.
So for 20 years, I worked, retired at 38, and then started working in the last role that I was in for 7 years until I was 45. So
Wow.
I had really never known a period in my life where I wasn't working.
Gotcha.
So as soon as I left that last position, the very next day, I went online, started looking for work. And the more I looked,
So accustomed to it, you
my husband tells me that I don't know how to rest.
right?
But God told me, you're getting ready to go into a type of rest.
Mm.
I looked online for work and nothing came. But what the blessing was, all my bills were still paid. One, I'm retired. But also, for 20 years, I've been investing and saving. And so God said, just take a look at what you reap what you sow, so to speak. I was able to look and I had a multi-million dollar portfolio.
Praise God.
And I do. I really do. But at 45 years old, I was asking myself, you've worked so hard. And you're online looking at hourly wages because my brain had not processed what I was going through, that I was in a transition. And so fast forward to what you were just speaking about, I realized that I could also now, for my new mission, help other individuals also reach financial freedom, whatever that means to them. And so
Yeah,
that's how.
I mean, because that was an accomplishment. I mean, how many people can say
Thank
at
you.
45 they had a accumulation of millions of dollars? Not many
Yes.
people can say
Yes.
that. So I definitely commend you on that. And I do want to know more. I mean, I'm sure we all want to know more. So what is it? What is the process as far as being a part of your organization or getting that information?
So I am part of an organization called Entreprenista. So I'm going to compare the two.
Okay.
I love communities. You
Right.
know, the Air Force is a big community.
Hmm.
Dallas is a community. My family, we're a community.
Right.
Entreprenista is a community that I'm currently a member of. I'm a new entrepreneur.
Right.
When I, left corporate America, I thought, okay, maybe it's time for me to strike out on my own.
Okay.
And like many other entrepreneurs, we're sometimes flying solo. And I use that tongue in cheek coming from the Air Force. I don't want to fly solo.
Right. Right.
So I learned of the Entreprenista community. I joined it, and it's a community of fellow entrepreneurs, females, entreprenistas.
Right.
We help each other. For example, I hired my accountant out of Entreprenista.
See, community.
Yes, I hired someone that is helping me with my LinkedIn profile out of Entreprenista. These are individuals that also struck out on their own. They took the skills, knowledge, and abilities that they had learned in corporate America. And then after a certain point in time, they said, well, maybe for whatever life reasons, I'm a mother, I'm taking care of my family, I'm going to do this on my own. And so we're helping each other. Well, that's kind of how 3-5 Wealth came about. I know the benefit of being an entreprenista.
Right.
For the 3-5 Wealth community, my target market are individuals who have a desire to one, learn about investing.
Okay.
When I was a young airman, I made my first stock purchase when I was stationed overseas. We didn't have iPhones and YouTube.
Right.
We didn't have those tools. I had a desire to learn. We
Okay.
had a lot of books. We had dial up. I literally had to dial up on my computer and log in. But for me, my first stock purchase was made when I spoke to my supervisor, and he
Okay.
was like, "Hey, JJ, there's a great stock." Gave me the ticker of the stock, and he was so excited about it. Without asking any further questions, I bought it.
You dove in. Oh wow. Okay. That's
I dove
well,
in.
that's what they say. Without any risk, there's no reward. So,
Wow, interesting you should say that, because without research,
right.
you also have risk. And the risk for me as a new investor, the stock temporarily went up and then it went down. It was a pump and dump. And so I
Mhm.
did not know at the time, one, what a pump and dump stock was, how to exit that trade. And I was left, this new term, bag holder, the individuals that are still holding the stock when it has no value.
Right. Yep.
That happened almost 25 years ago.
Mm. But it was a lesson, I'm sure, a big lesson, and early on.
One of the greatest lessons I have ever learned, because I can't forget it. And I would like to, you do need to learn lessons that
Right.
help you on your journey. That was my lesson. That was Janelle's lesson. From that experience, I did start doing a lot more research.
Mm.
I read everything I could that I could understand about investing. Back then, you would call Vanguard and you would start putting your money into your retirement account. So
Mhm.
that's how I started. And whatever the maximum that I could put up, I would put it up. I
Mm.
was living in the dormitories at the time. We were getting three hots in a cot, as they say,
Yeah.
but Air Force version. And so I really got to invest very young. And most statistics show you the earlier you are when you start investing, compounding helps. You can have a person start investing when they're 18 and stop when they're in their late 20s
Mm.
and have more money than someone who starts investing in their 30s and 40s and continues to invest until they're in their retirement age.
And that's
And
all
so,
from compounding.
yes. And so for me, your money is making money, and then your money's money is making money. And so over time, my portfolio balance started to grow. Then, as individual stocks became popular and people started trading stocks because it was easier to do so when we were able to move from dial up to high speed internet.
Right. You taking it back with that dial up.
So, yes, over time, as it became more efficient to invest, yes, I started investing. That's really what I would like for the 3-5 Wealth community. I do have a framework. I've trained and been mentored by a lot of great investors.
Okay.
The issue is, I don't want to be the single point of failure for a community.
Okay.
I would love to bring together many traders, many investors. And so, if someone in the community has a question, stocks, options, crypto, whatever it may be, there should be a community of individuals that can answer that question. So,
Got
that in a nutshell is the 3-5 Wealth community.
Right. I definitely think that is a grand concept. And it sounds like you just want to continue the education and
Yes,
prevent some of
yes,
the mistakes that you made, which is a good thing. It's always good to have a guiding force, a mentor in
yes.
any avenue that you strive to be a part of. So that is very, like I said, just very inspirational
Thank
and
you.
very eye-opening, the
Yeah.
fact that you want to do that. So let me ask you this. What is it that one would have to do to be part of your community?
So similar to Entreprenista that has a one-time lifetime fee,
Okay.
so do we. And currently it's $99.
Only $99, and you said
Only
lifetime. This isn't monthly.
lifetime. Lifetime.
Oh,
When I
okay.
spoke to my business consultants. I wanted to make it open access.
Okay.
And of course, some people say you get what you pay for. And we
Right.
didn't
Right.
want to really send that message.
Mm.
This was valuable to me. I've invested tens of thousands of dollars to bring this community online and to make sure it can scale. So I don't want people to assume just because I was offering free membership that it didn't cost me something.
Mm.
So, I mean, and there was a colonel that I used to work with in Germany. She would always say, you got to put some skin in the game.
Right.
$99 is achievable. I've had individuals ask me, well, what if I gave you money? Could you invest it for me? It's a easy, innocent question, but no, I cannot.
Okay.
And two, what value would I bring to you if I invested money for you and then I'm gone? I
That's true.
really do want individuals to have the knowledge that I have. And, you know, I don't make perfect stock selections. Each
Gotcha.
and every day, I go live in the morning after pre market trading and
Right.
I go through my trades so that I can show individuals, yes, I have the ability to make money like I did yesterday and lose it today. I have daily goals. It's all about a process.
Okay.
I try to follow a daily process. But the stock market is risky, and there are a lot of unknown unknowns.
Gotcha.
Something that you and I were just talking about, a news article could hit in the morning that shakes investor sentiment.
That's true. Yeah.
And the stock market could be up in one moment and in the same day down the next.
The next.
And
Yeah.
so I do try to ensure that when I speak to individuals about the introduction to stock course that I'm working on, this is just a framework.
Okay.
I do have a course that I am launching, and it's really the information I didn't have when I started investing in the 90s.
Hmm.
Do you have a framework? Do you understand the stock market? Do you understand stocks? Do you understand what can happen if you don't have your own money to invest? Some people use margin. They're borrowing their brokerage accounts money. And so I try to break it down little by little. This information is available on the internet. People can go many, many different places. However, I'm on social media, for example, threads, and
Hmm.
I'm in the trading community. So I see questions all day, every day. What's most interesting to me, even though Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and Fisher Investments, you can go anywhere and you can find investment advice. I
Right.
still see questions on threads. Where do I begin?
And I think, like you said, part of that is because, you want it sounds like it's more personal for
Mhm,
you want
mhm,
to be able to have people to fend for themselves,
mhm.
grasp the concepts, get the true knowledge behind it so that they're not only improving themselves, but then they can in turn help others.
Yes.
Whereas with different, institutions or different things that you see out there, it's more of join me, I'll
Mhm.
do it, and then
Right.
you don't get the knowledge behind it. So then you're like a fish out of water. You don't know what to do
Exactly.
next.
And iron sharpens iron.
Right.
Even in, we did our soft launch. So
Okay.
we'll do our official launch this month. But even with the questions that I am fielding in the community, I love doing my research. Even if I don't have the answer, I'm going to do whatever I can to get that answer to you. As I mentioned, I do have a background in financial planning. Back in 2011, when I was still in the military, I
Mhm.
completed the entire financial planning course with Boston University.
Okay.
I did not certify while on active duty when I couldn't. I was, in the military, not working in industry. But
Mm.
now I'm back in that coursework. So not only am I trying to share my knowledge of day trading, stocks, I also am incorporating my financial planning.
Hmm.
I think it's important to have a holistic approach, and here's why. When I first started talking to individuals about introduction to stocks, when we sat down, the first thing individuals would tell me was how much debt they were in.
Mm.
And that's understandable.
Hmm.
But my mission on that call automatically changes from talking about stocks to let me see your budget.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this. So you feel as though, because let's say, we know that it is possible to
Mhm.
invest and
Yes.
make lots of money if you're doing it, or if things go fairly. Like you said, things fluctuate, things can change, but there are a lot of people that have done well from stocks.
Yes.
Are you
Yes.
saying that you suggest above all things, before you start investing, get out of debt, get out of the
Well,
things? Okay.
you at least need to know where your money is going,
Okay.
because there's some debt that you cannot get rid of. I mean, some people have homes, some people have college, and so they're going to want to continue maximizing the market to the best of their ability.
Okay.
However, the first thing that we talk about is the risk. There are risks of putting your money in the stock market. It could go up, it could go down, and you don't have it. But for some of the individuals that I've spoken with, for the amounts of debt that we're talking, and we're not talking about a home or college, I'm talking about maybe credit card debt.
Mm.
Those types of debt, in my humble opinion, I would recommend tackling first. And it's not because I'm saying it because Janelle says so.
Right.
This,
Right.
this is really financial planning 101.
Okay.
As I'm making my way through my coursework again, and as I'm studying to recertify or take the course, budgeting is first.
Okay.
Budgeting is paramount
And
before
help
everything else.
everyone that you work with to
Mhm,
formulate plans based on their situation or circumstance,
mhm,
in order to get to the
mhm.
investment options.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well,
I
I
know
love that. So
budgeting.
you're coaching, you're mentoring, and then you're also a speaker. So when you're doing these speaking engagements, are you also encouraging others through financial aspects, or is it entrepreneurship? Like, what is it that you're covering when you're doing these different speaking engagements?
So I have a keynote coming up on the 12th of July,
Okay.
and it's at my church. We're having our money management workshop.
Okay.
And so the theme is sowing, we reap what we sow. And so I'm a faith based everything. Everything that I do is off of faith. And so for me, yes, I think it's very important when I'm talking to one realistically talk about things you can do,
Right.
not so high level that you leave any session that I'm in and you don't feel like you can make something actionable happen.
Confidence.
Yes, this is real world for me. I practice what I preach.
Right.
Even in today's session that I had, I share a spreadsheet that I've been using for 15 years.
Mm.
It's a great spreadsheet. I didn't create it, but I do share it on my daily budgeting sessions
Okay.
because it's actionable. You can track your budget and finances all day, but if it doesn't make you spend less or save more, then it's the practice of futility to just be tracking money and not making something happen. And so that's really something I'm focusing on more. Can I give someone who meets with me an actionable task? As I mentioned early with you, when I meet with my coach and she tells me, you took action. You did something. You did a lot since
Right.
we last spoke. That's what I would love when I'm speaking with someone about their finances
Gotcha.
and they come to me 30 days later and we're looking and I'm like, you did a lot. You've made progress. It may not be paying off your credit card debt, but you at least know what you can do next month to pay down that balance. That's what I would love.
Well, actions definitely speak louder than words, and you're definitely putting your actions into use. So I know that this is a new venture for you. You just mentioned that you're going to have a keynote coming up within the
Yes.
next week or so.
Mhm.
What is next for you? What else can we expect from you?
Well, I do pray, and I have so many things that I would really love to do.
Right.
But I would love to expand my services.
Okay.
I'm a year out from finishing my financial planning coursework, and it takes time.
Right. Of course.
I'm still giving myself grace because I was supposed to test out of my course this week,
Okay.
but trying to build a business, launch a community, launch an investment course, it was just too much for me.
Okay.
And
Which is
so,
understandable. Yes.
yes, and so this week I made the decision to extend by 60 days just so I could regroup. Because when I'm sitting down with my day-to-day clients, I really want them to know that I'm giving them my very best.
Okay.
But a year from now, I will be done with my financial planning coursework completely. And I would like to have financial planning services in addition to what we have in the 3-5 Wealth community. Because I can promise you, when I sit down with our people and I'm talking to them about what is in our books, my courseworks, they're not having these conversations with anyone else.
Right.
Because financial planning, financial services, financial advice, normally there's a cost to it. And
Exactly.
sometimes that cost is out of reach. And so I'm trying to make it attainable for individuals in our community to have someone that they can trust, that's credible, that is putting, we say, you want to be a fiduciary. In this line of work, you are supposed to put the individual's best interests first.
Right.
And I believe I've done that, and I'm not even technically certified. I'm, studying to do that. But I would like to, in 1 year, be able to be a financial planner and continue to help our family, our friends, our community
Right.
reach financial freedom, whatever that means for them.
Exactly. And it just sounds as though service is just in you. It's just natural. You
Service before
you're
self.
just here to service the community in any way that you can. We spoke earlier and I was saying thank you so much for your service and all that you have done. I feel like you have accomplished so much, but yet there's so much, like you said, you want to do. And it's definitely going to be beneficial for us all. So I definitely appreciate that. Now, you have children. Do they have the same work ethic and tenacity that you do?
Yes, I have two daughters, Savannah and Sydney.
Okay.
I have, so what I will say, if I could give one recommendation to the viewers, my husband and I opened investment accounts for Savannah and Sydney.
Mm,
They're called Uniform Gift to Minor Act accounts,
okay.
and we gifted them some of our stock.
Mm,
That means when they're of age, which is in the state of Texas, I believe 21, the
okay.
girls will have a head start. And what I will say is there's no more 20-year military retirement.
Okay.
That went away. So I know at some point in time, Savannah and Sydney are going to need some help.
Right. Of course.
We also want them to be independent. And I would pray that they can use the stock knowledge that I'm sharing with others to one day manage their very own portfolios.
Yes, because it starts at home. So I could imagine, the knowledge and inspiration that they're soaking up by being there with you. I know I would. My mom is doing this, doing that. So I need to make sure, and then they're young, but still it will become a time when they're able to put it to use. So the fact that you and your husband are able to kickstart that for them is definitely a big deal. Now, you kind of mentioned this fund. Is it something that you're only able to start for your kids if they're under 18? Or,
No,
okay,
no age.
okay,
Uh, but what I will say, whatever you put into the account is theirs. So I accidentally transferred funds into the account 6 months ago.
okay,
Then I thought, well, instead of giving them cash, because sometimes they get cash for their birthday,
right.
I said, I'll just transfer the stocks. Well, I put the cash in and then I put the stocks in. And then when I went to take the cash out, I could not.
Mm,
Once you open a uniform gift to Minors Act account for your children, it is theirs. And
okay,
so our brokerage company said, well, it's a win win. They get the cash and the stocks. And I'm like, okay, I've learned my lesson. But it is theirs. They do know that they have them, but they're also responsible. As you said, these are military minded children. They're smart and they know that this was a labor of love.
right,
Dad
right.
and I to give them those stocks. And so we're going to make sure that when they do get them, they know how to manage them in the best way possible.
Good, good. So, question. So, are they able to utilize it at any time, or do they have to wait a certain period before
They
they
have to wait till they're 21,
until this one?
thankfully,
Okay. So,
until
it's
they
no cutoff age as far as investing or contributing towards it. But
right.
once they reach 21, they're able to
Yes.
actually draw from it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
good to know. That's good knowledge. That's something I didn't know, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there that didn't know the same. So that's definitely helpful.
Mhm.
Definitely appreciate that. So you said that, your kids are responsible. And I was admiring your artwork earlier behind you, and you were telling me that your daughter actually did that. And I'm just like, it mind boggled because I'm like, that is beautiful. You
Yes,
wouldn't
my
think.
daughter Sydney started drawing when she was 4.
Okay.
4 years old. I remember a conversation when Savannah was 5, Sydney was 4, and Savannah said, "Hand me the purple crayon." And Sydney said, "It's indigo."
Mm,
She was very particular back then about her artwork.
right.
She just continued to grow leaps and bounds, and she won first place in the Rockwall district art show. She won first and second place. But I must say, Savannah is an artist too.
Yeah, that is nice. Very nice. I love
Yes,
that.
yes,
Yes.
I'm raising two wonderful artists, and I am so thankful. This is their fifth move in their life.
Mhm.
They moved from Dayton, Ohio, where they were born, to Germany, to Virginia, to Texas, to South Carolina, and now here back to Texas. And so,
Wow. Military
military children,
life.
military children move quite a bit, and so I'm so thankful that they're still able to grow by leaps and bounds in whatever they put their mind to.
Yes, amen to that. And that comes from, like you said, your foundation and your prayers and praying and, making sure that they have that foundation. So
Yes.
again, I salute you for that. No, seriously. Yes. Well, listen, we came to the part of the segment where, the podcast, Synoria's Best Kept Secret. What are some secrets or maybe just some gems that you're able to share with us, that, I guess you wish you would have known earlier on or that you just kind of learned along the way?
Well, what I would say, I'm a twin. My twin sister and I joined the Air Force together, and we were stationed together 3 times.
Oh, wow.
And so we were compared constantly.
Okay.
And I finally am now walking a walk by myself. We retired pretty much, a year apart from each other.
Okay.
I'm now on a new journey. As much as I love my sister, and we walked our entire military career together, this walk is my walk.
Mm.
I'm embracing this walk, Janelle's walk. Every year when we were in the military on our anniversary, July 30th, we would post what year we were at, year 18, year 19, year 20. We're not posting those pictures anymore.
Gotcha.
Now, Janelle is getting to grow, and she's not compared next to her sister, whom I love very, very much.
Right. I'm
But
sure.
I'm trying to be me.
Right.
I'm trying to do what I believe God wants for Janelle. God gave each of us a walk, and my sister and I walked closely together for the majority of our professional careers. This is now my walk. I truly believe that God is putting me on a path. And, my sister is one of my biggest supporters, my biggest encouragers. She's a trader as well. But I truly believe God is wanting me to be me. I'm not, and I don't want to be compared to any other investor or trader or any other person doing what I'm doing. I've been compared my entire life because
Right.
there's someone that looks like me, talks like me, walks and smiles like me.
Right.
So if anyone should ever ask me, what do you think about so and so's trading style that does exactly what you do? I've been compared my entire life. I'm focused on what Janelle is doing, what God gifted Janelle to do. That is my primary focus. And I pray that that's the only secret I would share with anyone. Do what God put inside of you to do.
Listen, amen to that. And I definitely understand that because even, if you're not a twin, your sibling, or, it might be your cousin or someone in the family, whatever, people are always comparing others to others. And it's true. You want to just be able to be you and walk your own path. So I definitely wish you well in that as well. Well, like I said, you have a lot of wonderful things going on. I can't wait for the future to see what all unfolds. And
Yes.
I definitely want to, keep in contact and make sure we're able to encourage each other on these journeys, these paths. So I definitely appreciate you stopping by. Was
Thank you.
there
Thank you.
anything else that you wanted to share with the viewers, the listeners tonight?
I would say no matter what age you are, no matter where you are on your financial journey, start there. Just put one foot in front of the other. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Just focus on you, your goals, and start taking action. That is the most important thing you can do on your path, on your journey to financial freedom.
Yes, ma'am. Well, again, I thank you so much. And I think that's a beautiful note to end on. Guys, I do want to thank you again for tuning in. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe, share, and comment. And we'll see you next time. Bye.